Welcome to. We had a little preamble that's cracking me up. Welcome to the Super Comic Book Bros. How you doing, Chris?
Doing well, man. We got an interesting episode today.
We have a super interesting guest today. Um, Never in a million fucking years did I think we'd be here.
Yeah,
Tyler, how you doing, bro?
I'm good. How are you doing?
We born again, Tyler, in the live stream. How is everything?
How is everything? I'm good. I'm running on like 8 hours of sleep because my two kids aren't sleeping. When I say 8 hours sleep, 8 hours to sleep in the last 3 days.
Okay, I'm about to say because
Yeah, 8 hours of sleep in the last 3 days. I'm still, but it hasn't stopped me from drawing like 10 pages a week and just aiming towards that February Kickstarter, which is it's a packed month.
that's Megafist 3.
That's a Girl with the Mega Fist Volume 3, yeah. And gosh, everyone's doing a Kickstarter in February.
Everyone's doing one right now.
Everyone's doing one right now. The people though that like my friend Tim and Mark, they do Common America, which is a massive Kickstarter book. And they were like, we're putting our book out in January, and I'm like, perfect. I'm putting mine out in February. And then they were like, oh, we had delays, so we're putting ours out in February. And I'm like, dang it. But it's actually good because we have a shared audience,
Yeah.
and so it'll hopefully be good. Hopefully, but yeah, I hate Kickstarters. I hate running a crowdfunding campaign. It's tiring, it's stressful,
Yeah.
and yeah. If there was another way, if there was another
Direct
way,
marketing.
yeah, if there was another way to get like money, because the direct market doesn't give you money.
Oh shit! Oh, we starting with the hot takes. We're starting with the hot takes early. No, we've had a lot of conversations about Kickstarter in the past. I was curious. It seems to me because do you believe that there's optimal times to release Kickstarters?
No.
You think that the same campaign will do the same across any month?
I think I think that for most campaigns, I think it depends if they have a following or not. If they have a following, what is nice about Kickstarter is that there is an ecosystem of people who back on there, and you will find people. But generally speaking, you have to bring the audience to Kickstarter. And so I think if you have an audience, it doesn't matter when you release. If you have a good enough audience, you tell them when to come, they'll come. With that being said, when you do have people who I'm not gonna say you compete with, but you have a shared audience, someone might say, I only have $20 this month to back a project, and then they go, oh, I like these two creators, and they both came out at the same time. Then you go, I think I'm gonna go with this person. I'm gonna go with this person. So I don't think there's an optimal time. I've seen people kill it in December. And that you hear don't do it in December. I've seen people kill in December. I've seen people kill in January. Chris is doing great so far in January. So I just think it depends. I think there's a lot of factors, and so I don't think so. I think if your campaign fails and then you use that as an excuse, you're trying to put all the blame.
I would
on
agree with that
something
last
else.
part, and I think the goal, right, is to be like fail proof. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yes.
a Pat Shan could release at any time of the year. You know what I'm saying? Charlie Stickney, a Common America.
Yes.
I would damn near say. I mean, I don't know how you would feel about this. I feel like it would be the same with you. Like your audience is.
I don't know, man. Seriously, I get very anxious. I don't know if you guys know what happened 2 years ago to me. I did a Kickstarter for my book. It funded in 3 hours. I think I got to like $4,000 3 days in. I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. I canceled it, and I was like, I'm not doing Kickstarter anymore. And I like ran away from indie comics for a year.
Okay.
I was like, I had a mental breakdown, and then I came back.
What
a
year
year
is
later.
this?
2020. Yeah, 2020.
See, I think it's interesting because we've had a lot of debates about, old. What would we say, the old guard versus like the new kids on the block.
I think
You're
it
an old
depends.
kid on the block.
You're like a middle classman.
I think yeah. Well, it depends because, like, for example, you have people in the indie scene who are like what would you consider like Ethan Van Sciver? He's considered indie, I guess, now at this point. That's old. You have that to me is like the old guard. When you guys say old guard, I think of the mainstream pros who are now coming into the indie space, and then I think there are some. Then I think there's might be an old guard in terms of indie people. Honestly, though, my attention isn't really on the indie scene right now. My attention is on what other creators outside of the indie comic creator scene are doing.
What's some interesting thing that you've seen from creators outside the indie comic that you've taken away from and internalized?
The digital first mindset. The digital first mindset. So outside of the indie comic scene, you're dealing with mostly people who are writer artist, not writer, and then they hire an artist. It's mostly writer artist, duo, not duo, writer artist person. And that's what I see. And then it's in how they handle the marketing of their books and how they publish their books. That's what I see them doing. It's a digital first mentality, whereas we rely heavily on like Kickstarters and physical books.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I mean, I always talk about that. It's digital's easy. I mean, we know that digital is easier to, like, when you have somebody like, I can't wait to have a back catalog where people back digitally for like $50 or some shit. It's like, oh my God, I can fulfill this with no expenses. Yeah, all I'm paying for is like the Google Drive space. I cannot fucking wait. No, that's really interesting that you're looking outside in the community. Do you feel like,
but also it's not because it's also because I think the indie community sucks.
Okay,
that's a big reason.
Elaborate.
It's the indie I've been in the indie comic community for 10 years, and it is the same cycle of poo poo. Like, it doesn't matter if like new creators come in, it's like the same. It's the same trends happen over and over. And I think with this like second or third cycle I've seen, I'm just like, I'm out. Like, I don't want. And when I say that, there's two types of scenes I'm talking about. There's the indie comic reader scene, because there is a reader scene. And then you have the indie comics creator scene. I'm mostly talking about the creator scene. I think the creator scene is absolutely poo-poo. The reader scene is hungry. The reader scene is hungry, and it's how do you attract those readers? And there's two ways to do it, and the most popular way is to create like a YouTube drama channel and get into fights. And I think, like, I did a stream in my car, and I was like, I'm done with this. Like, I'm out. And I haven't posted anything drama-y since. None of my videos have been drama-y. In fact, I've unfriended most people, and like, even look at my tweets, it's all about my book or what I'm reading. And I'm not, it is sad because I'm not meeting as many indie creators as I used to. Like, I used to be a really big hub for people to come onto my show and like get backers and whatnot. And I'm just turning people down left and right because I don't want to help anymore. If that makes sense.
You don't want to help anymore. So can you walk us through like the poo-poo of the different stages? Because like generally, I'm not saying this to sound sarcastic. I'm new. I believe Chris would say he's new. So there's a lot for us to kind of figure out.
Well, let's be all right. So let's start off with this. So the reason why this stream is happening is because you and I had beef. Now I will say, Stokes, I did say that we don't have beef anymore. I told you if we had beef, we had beef. We don't have beef, but then I feel like there is beef, even though I said there's no beef. But I think there's beef. But regardless of the beef, like last year, I'll tell you this. I've told this to everyone. And I think it's sad because I'm sure you Stokes, you think that I talk bad about you behind your back, from Tyler at Godhood. I doubt that they ever they show you the message that I always send within those messages of like, what do you think of Stokes? Or like with Travis, is I always say Stokes is gonna be great.
Wow.
I always say that. I always go, Stokes has like the mindset I wish the people that we came up with had. And so like for like the last 5-6 years, my whole like like what I you know how like Travis is like, my job is to please people. My job has been like, can I make indie creators think more like this YouTube shit? You are a content creator, not just a writer. And so when I came upon you, Stokes, I was like, damn, like this guy is thinking all the right moves. He's like thinking all the right things. And then I was like, but I wish he had better opinions, and I wish that like I wish there was some times where I was like, I wish that you weren't as arrogant. But I always say, because it's not arrogance, it's mostly confidence, which I'll call arrogance. But you're very confident. But I always say in all my messages to people, guys, the reason why I think I beef with Stokes so much is not because I hate him, it's because I know he's going to be great. And I want him to like skip all the steps that I've seen other creators do before they have this horrible downfall. Okay. Not downfall. I'm not saying you're gonna have a downfall, by the way, but there are things that all creators end up doing that could potentially push them into the negative. And I don't want you to do that because you have the right mindset. So I always tell creators that. I hope I wish they'd tell you. I wish they'd send that screenshot.
I need you to stop talking because you said a lot that I need to.
Just a lot of compliments.
Yeah. I guess you gave me a little compliment sandwich. No, let me say this as well. I thank you for saying that. That's really kind, and I do think that there is a space like Travis, your boy Travis. We are never going to get along 100%. Like, I know, I'm not saying ironically, that's really your man's. And I really appreciate the friendship that you guys have. Like, genuinely, I think it's cool. I think it's cool as hell. We're never going to agree on everything. It's just not going to happen. We are just so completely different. But there's a mutual respect there that can kind of come up missing sometimes, of just wanting to be great, of wanting to just make good content, essentially.
For sure.
And I would say the same thing about us. And I think one thing I think is unfortunate is that let's be honest, there's a lot of undercutting. There's a lot of just like minimizing what people are doing. And I think that's the unfortunate thing, because I think you're a tremendous creator in your own right. I think you just said what you think about me, and other creators have done that as well. I think Travis is doing fantastic. Chris is up here doing fantastic. Like, we're all doing great stuff and we're all doing different things. I think it's really unfortunate that sometimes it devolves into like a dick measuring contest. I think it's really unfortunate. So
I agree.
Thank you for the compliment.
I'll tell you, and a big reason why, and it's something I realized. And I realized after I had a conversation with Travis, not about you, but just in general. Travis and I were talking about, I was like, what are our goals? Travis's goal as a creator is to work for the big two, Marvel and DC.
Yeah.
My goal is to be as far away from that company, of those companies, as possible. My goals are completely different than Travis's. And then we were talking once, and I was just like, why is he doing this thing? Like, why is he doing this? And I realized I'm putting my goals for Travis. I'm expecting Travis to do something a certain way that would fit my goal. And then I was like, okay, shit. I was like, okay, Travis and I have different goals. There's no point in me putting an expectation on Travis that, one, he doesn't even give himself, but two, he doesn't even want. So then I talked to some other friends. What is your goal? Like, what is your goal? And they all said they all said different things. And I was like, oh my gosh, we all have different comic goals. And that is why. And then I went, okay, rewind to your favorite person, Larry. And I was like, why did Larry and I beef? Because we were friends. Why. We were friends for 7 years. Every day we would like stream and stuff. Why we beefed? Because we had different goals and we expected each other to do the goal, like each other's goals. And so that's honestly why I kind of like was like I stopped wanting to talk with other indie creators, not because I don't like them per se, but because I get so passionate about thinking that I'm going to do something this way. I want you to do this. Do this my way. And so when we would have, when I go into your spaces and you say something like, why does he not get, like, I get like, so like, why does he not get this? Why does Stokes not get that this is, and what I realized, it was like, it's not that you don't get it. you're not looking at Neil Gaiman says look at the mountain whenever you have a goal. Look at the mountain, get to the mountain. You're looking at a completely different mountain. Yeah. Chris's mountain's different than yours. You guys, both of you guys are different than my mountain, and I'm trying to tug all these creators to freaking look at my mountain, which follow me, guys. My mountain's filled with gold, but I'm like trying to get people to follow my mountain when they don't want to, and they have different goals, and I shouldn't impose my goals on other people. And I realized that, so I was like, you know what? I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna stop hanging out with like the indie comic creator scene. I'll create a newsletter that kind of gives out like my general advice. People want to listen, like read it, they can. If not, I'm just gonna do my own way. And honestly, it's been 17 days into the new year. I've had a pretty silly goose time so far.
Hell yeah, man! I'm glad. I'm really, and that's the thing. And I feel like what gets lost about so much of the conversations I have is that, look, you can do what the fuck you want. That's kind of always my stance. You want to do fucking page turns, you want to use links, I'm doing all the talking points from our arguments, but there's other stuff too. But it's just like, ultimately do what you want, and I feel like you brought up, I'll fucking bring it up. That's the problem with Larry. And he did the same thing, and I'll even give Larry some compliments for what Larry is trying to do. He's doing phenomenal. He's doing exceptionally well at what he is trying to do, but what he's trying to do doesn't apply to everybody. So this one size fits all advice from anybody is super counterproductive.
Correct. And that's why I'm like, I'm not doing this anymore.
Yeah.
I'm not doing this anymore. So if other creators want to come ask me and stuff or have me on their show, but then I'll talk and whatnot, but nah. I mean, I reached out to Chris. I even reached out to Art Crumbs. Mostly I apologize to Art Crumbs. Because I was like, man, I hope that like I'm not like a dick to you. Mm-hmm. But I mostly just want to like not squash this, but just be like, hey, like I stopped talking about you like in December, but I'm still hearing you talk about me in the spaces, and so I was just like, is there something we got to work out? Because I told you I don't have beef with you. Is there beef?
Here's the thing, though. You said that we don't have beef, and then 4 quote retweets later, and then
that's
show,
not beef, though.
Listen, I'm just giving you my perspective. And then the show where you say essentially Stokes doesn't care about the medium of comics, and all this other stuff. It's like,
fair.
And listen, I'm not gonna hold it in suspense. Tyler, and also this was what's frustrating for me. When we were going through our shit, did I not message you trying to like?
You did. You were the bit. Stokes was the bigger man, and he reached out to me privately and said, "Hey, do you want to squash this?" And then and I won't go back to like what Travis and I said in that space of why I didn't message you back.
Yeah,
because that is a very old guard indie comic thing of we do shit publicly so that none of my DMs get leaked.
Yeah.
Because that happens. And one thing I think I'm grateful for you guys is that you guys are in a different indie comic scene than I was part of for 8 years, because it was awful.
And I think so yeah, that's all I have two. I mean, that's more or less the problem I had. And it's somehow from my perspective, bro, because I would say we were friends, and relative to comic book stuff, I say we were good friends. We have a disagreement that I feel personally could have stayed super like private, right?
You're good.
Somebody makes a video, I'm not gonna lie, bro. Somebody unbacks my campaign. I'm like, well, fuck it, I guess. I'm saying here like, all right, I guess that happens, whatever. And I don't know if I don't think this was intentional, but essentially after that video drop, I started losing backers like crazy. Like I lost 4 or 5 backers. Can I blame all of them on that video? No,
I hope not.
I'm not going to, but the timing is a little bit.
You're good. And I'll say this, I shouldn't have. What's up, Miss H? I shouldn't have made that video. Once again, it's back to that whole I came up in a different space than you guys, And that's what you would do is you would go, oh shit, Stokes said this, and now I make a video, and you didn't have a YouTube channel, but if you did at the time, you would then make a retaliate, and then we'd start EFAPing each other back and forth. And the thing is, at the same time that I was going through whatever with you, I had Ethan Van Sciver, like his followers, like being sicked on me like all day. All day, racist. I got called a wonton. That was kind of funny, because they said I'm a fake Asian. I'm like, no, I'm Chinese. They go, no, man, you're Mexican at best. And I'm like, no, I'm Chinese. And they like pulled up a bunch of like of my personal photos from like the internet, and they're like, nah, like you're Mexican. I'm like, whatever. But like, and then like Ethan would run polls like, whose art is better, this one or this one? And I'm like, do you wake up and draw my name out of a hat on like who you're gonna like be mean to today on Twitter? And so it was like, and it was kind of this very insecure thing of, okay, if I fight Ethan, I'm gonna die. I will die. He's got like 300,000 followers. I will die. I think I can go at Stokes though, and maybe it'll make me feel a little better, because if I go against Stokes, I might win a little bit, but if I go at Ethan, I die. So we'll go over here. I'm not saying that that's actually how I was thinking, but it's I came from a very different indie scene than you guys, where it's just a ton of fights, and I like that you guys. I'm almost jealous that you guys. I'm jealous that you and Chris. I'm waiting for you two to fight. I'm waiting for you two to fight.
You don't know what kind of conversations we have. You know what the problem is? I can't do thumbnails. The second I learn how to do thumbnails, Chris is out of this bitch, bro.
Damn.
Like,
you'll get better. You'll get better. You'll get better at them.
They take some skill, dude. Honestly, and that's why I'm Mario. But honestly, I think, and it's interesting that you're talking about like having different goals, making you want to separate yourself from the indie community. I think obviously Stokes and I have different goals, even with his own YouTube channel, right? Like Stokes obviously wants to be a content creator, and I'm just trying to make comics, right? And this is just another place for me to promote that, right? And then talk about stuff and really use all the different platforms that we have available. But like that's the great thing about, I feel like, this YouTube channel and our friendship, is that we can go back and forth, have different ideas. I don't have to agree with Stokes. Stokes doesn't have to agree with me, but we can, come to common ground, or we don't have to. We just move on and
just change the topic. Yeah.
Just
What's so funny? The first time I had a real conversation with Chris, I had my campaign for Decaysu 2 was essentially like a complete, like it's basically like a like this, like. So the first week was kind of weak, but I just had a really steady climb, like just completely steady campaign. I had a backer every day. And so I'm sitting there at like 1,500 with like, or X amount of days left. And Chris was like, I don't know, man, I would feel good about that. And I was like, man, I don't give a fuck what you think. I don't give a fuck what you have to say about. And then, we end up being cool. But the thing is, as far as the drama and stuff, like, again, I think that's the only thing I had a problem with personally. And that's the only, I had like two real problems, but I'm like, yo, how am I being the one that's like, you like beef, you like confrontation? I'm like, yo, I've been trying to squash this shit for weeks, you know what I'm saying? For weeks. And Tyler, thank you for acknowledging that I was trying to be the bigger man, because it was hard, bro. It was fucking hard, because I'm sitting here, yo, you know what losing backers is like, bro. I hit the $4,000 stretch goal 3 fucking times. I hit 4,000, lost a backer. Hit 4,000.
To be fair, you also had a crazy tweet that week. That week too.
I was also probably frustrated because of shit that was going on with you. Let's be fair. But
I saw that tweet and I went, "Oh man, this is it for Stokes."
Let's circle back. But no, I just like, I think that's the thing for me. It's just like and it wasn't really. I know what things went left. It's when I believe the shit with Larry happened. So I'm like, bro, what the fuck? He brings up the video for some fucking reason, and then I'm posting about haters, right? Because I felt like what was being, and it was multiple parties that were framing me as being like a argumentative guy, and then if I say something to them, I'm like, basically they're laying a trap essentially. So I start posting about haters. I've been posting about haters for years. You know what I'm saying? I haven't been on Twitter, but I post about them for years. Motherfuckers have haters, and maybe this is a newer idea, and I understand why it seems a little bit me versus them kind of shit. But honestly, that's what the fuck was going on. It was me versus several Dems. And you posted that meme like, are the haters in the room with you? And I was like, all right,
that was a good one. I made that personally.
I was like, fuck it, it's war. Like at that point, I'm like, all right, fuck it. And then so like to me, as far as beef, I understand. You know what's so funny is that I feel like Travis, his barometer for beef is really low. It's like disagreeing with somebody can be beef, and then your thing for beef is like really high. But to me, if you're calling me out like every other day, if it's a like a weekly thing where we have to go back and forth, that's beef. I don't do the kayfabe shit or whatever.
No,
I was pissed the fuck off.
I'll say, okay, so that meme that got under your skin. I'm telling you guys, you ever want to get into an internet fight, just start making your own memes. I had like 20 more Stokes. I had 20 more. You got under my skin really well,
and I'll give you that, bro. You are very irritating.
That's why. Well, I said this. That's why I said, Stokes, if we have beef, you'll know, because I will. I tell you, I have 20 other memes I made just about you. And my favorite thing to do is to make Yu-Gi-Oh cards off of people and go and like take their comic and put the panels in the Yu-Gi-Oh card and go play this trap card when the person's being a pussy. And then it's like, but they're like, oh, they called me a pussy and they used my comic in the Yu-Gi-Oh card art. And then so like I had
real sick shit.
I know. Okay. That's why I said, if we got beef, you'll know. Because I'll be
had beef regardless. And like I said, your barometer is high. Like,
my barometer is high. Now, I will say there are things that I don't consider beef. Mm-hmm. So like if you so another thing with like me and my brand is I have a lot of creators who look at me and go, they like the advice I put out, and they look for me for advice, because my day job, besides making comics, and I am slowly getting better each campaign, my day job is publishing books and selling books and marketing books, and I manage a $1 to $2 million account every year of just like the stuff that me and like my team do of us selling books. And so when I post advice, I do it from a lens of like trust me, I did this week, I made X amount, this is what I do. So when I said I remember I said to you once, I'm just gonna use you for content, and that sounds very rude and vengeful. What that meant though, and I obviously didn't say it, is that because I didn't give you the context of, if I see you post something, I'm gonna retweet it, not to say that Stokes is shitty, but this is my take on it. If Stokes says put your book at $30, I'm gonna go put your book at $10 because this is why, and here's all the data, and that's how I'd use your tweets. And it's not to make you look bad, but it's to go, if this is the conversation in the community, you should listen to me because I've got the expertise.
Let me say this, and listen, I think it's great you have expertise, but I also feel like I said, being dogmatic is a problem, especially in interspace. Like, to me, this is the Wild Wild West. Like, nothing. If somebody had all the answers, they make $1 million on Kickstarter. Like, it's out there, you can do it. For me, it was in context of what we were, because I think I'm truthfully hearing this. I'm thinking, oh, you thought we were cool. Well, I was like, yo, I hated this motherfucker, bro. Dude, like I was really like, yeah, I do not like this motherfucker right now. I'm being treated like a bitch, and I'm like the antagonist somehow. I was like, okay, that's crazy. But it was like the way you quote retweeted. It was a situation where I was.
I'm skillful.
It was a situation you've gotten in trouble a couple of times for quote retweeting that shit. That shit don't feel good. And what I would say is, Tyler, it doesn't feel like you were representing the argument the best way. Like, and I think that's the problem. I think it's a subtle tweaking of, hey, this is how I feel. I'm not like I think that's what it was. It's more so just the words. Also, if we're not cool, in my eyes, why the fuck? We were mortal enemies at that point in my eyes. Why the fuck why are you fucking quote tweeting me? Like shit is all good from my perspective.
Oh, but I mean, I quote tweet people that I don't agree with at all. It's Twitter, man. I'll quote tweet Ethan Van Sciver if I think it's that stupid.
Right. No, and listen, Ethan? And if we were if that's the sort of thing where we don't have this little spat or beef, whatever, I wouldn't mind it. You know what I'm saying? If I thought it was too far, I would just DM you like, bro, what's going on here? But
going back to what I said is I would quote retweet you because you are saying shit because you're going on one mountain, you're saying shit from your mountain, and I'm over on my other mountain, and I'm going, oh, my mountain's better. Get over here. And so like it's not that what you were saying is inherently wrong. It's that it doesn't go with where I'm going, and that's why you can pull up the tweet, man. Okay, I tweet like 100 things a day. Now you're gonna pull up something, and I'm gonna go, oh shit. Art Crumbs was like, you really hurt my feelings, and you said this, and I was like, crap, what did I say? And then she sent me the tweet. Luckily, it was a little bit of like it was luckily not as bad as what I thought it was gonna be. So now I'm like, oh, what are you gonna show?
Doesn't that speak to? Okay, anyway,
no,
because I want to give context, and I want to kind of give.
You can give context.
This is
Chris. If I don't like it though, I'll DM you one of my Yu-Gi-Oh cards of Stokes, and you post it up there. You post it up on there.
Yeah. All right. So and again.
Oh yeah, that is real bad advice. I'll stick to that.
What's the advice here? What's the advice, Tyler?
The advice is it's marketing 101. Is you do as little clicks as possible to get the person to purchase.
No, but where's the advice? Show me the wording.
Oh man, don't give me with the English and like where was the advice? It's when people say stop telling people they need to post the links. It's I know what you're saying. It's semantics.
It's not, but
it's semantics.
It's not semantics because what I'm saying kind of goes back to that we can do different things. If somebody is choosing not to post links,
that's fine, but you can.
Hold on, bro. Don't tell them they need to post the links. They're trying something different. I'm not, like I said, you can post whatever. So this truthfully was not advice because you can post the links, you cannot post the links. It doesn't matter. I had a lot of success with my second campaign with not posting links. Your boy Nick doesn't I've seen him do I call it dry tweeting where you
puts it underneath it.
You said, well, I think he refers back to and also my problem with the thinking, right, and the traditional wisdom is that like, look, I'm conditioning my audience to look at the pinned tweet, and it's working. Maybe it's not as efficient or that we can talk about that, but it's working. My audience, when they see a tweet, they're gonna go to my profile. I had a big thread. When you look at the threads, it'll say visited profile. So look, I'm laughing at I'm looking at Christopher. So I'm conditioning my audience essentially to do something that's more advantageous for the Twitter algorithm. So it's, like I said, I'm so low, bro. We've disagreed so many times. I'm fine with disagreeing. And then I think, like I said, saying it's really bad advice when I didn't really give advice.
Semantics.
It's Chris, is this semantics?
It's semantics.
I think the main point is it was very like you guys were beefing really hard and it was
bro. I can't stand this middle ground shit.
I'm here to be the moderator.
Fuck that. We don't need no moderating. We cool.
Wait, but we don't have to go into like the syntax of the English language.
Where's the advice?
The point is that how about this? Regardless of what how about this? Your tweet could have been like Bears beat Battlestar Galactica, and then my retweet go that's bad advice. You should post links. The point was I was using your tweet to tell people you need to post links with your content. There is a way to do it that can help you in the algorithm, and that's all I was trying to say because it's marketing 101. If you can make someone click less, they're more likely to still do it. So like that's the realm that I'm in though. Like that's the realm that I am. That's the mindset I'm in. Is I go I'm using the stuff that I do on a day-to-day basis, and that's the lens that I'm looking to. And I'm okay, by the way. Like most people in indie comics hate all my ideas on how to market when I think quote unquote outside of the box, even though I can showcase 10,000 other creators who are making way more than them doing said things that we're doing. What I like really 2022 made me just go, indie creators don't actually like new ideas. They want to be coddled, and I'm done fighting. I'm done trying to give people ideas that don't want it, and that's why I'm like I left. That's why when I heard in space, and I'm like, oh wait, why is Stokes still talking to me? That's why I reached out. I was like, you know what, 2023, I don't want to have any beef. I don't want people fighting. This isn't like in 2022, Tyler. Like, you came in, if I saw you in January 2022, Stokes, I would have made it my whole next 7 months of just you and me beefing.
Isn't that what you did?
I would have made it a whole year of just you and I. I would have dedicated my life. My fight with Larry was 5 months of every day us going back and forth, like publicly.
Yeah, the views,
I don't listen. I'm glad that we're behind this. But what made me laugh, because Chris, so for context, and also here's what I will say is, and I'm not trying to bring up old shit, but essentially this is like a domino effect. So we have a problem in this. Well, somebody quote retweets something that they shouldn't have. So things are a little dicey. Your name is a little acidic in the space. So I'm like, all right, bro, can we have this guy up here without it being a big deal, without us having a mass exodus? You thought that was disrespectful. I'm like, all right, cool. You know what I'm saying? That's absolutely fine. We had done a show on your show. We did a live stream, which I thought was a great live stream. I don't know how you felt about it, but that was one of the best shows that I had done for that run.
Oh, that's good. My show's killer.
I thought it was a great show. I'm like, bro, like, honestly, I think we're box office. Like, I think this is fire. Like, this is a fire stream. Like, we're depriving the indie community with all this dumb shit. But I digress. So you make the post about, you said I kicked you out the space. You didn't get kicked out the space, motherfucker. The fucking, my phone died. So because of that, I go on Larry's stream, and Larry brings up this video, and I'm listening back to the stream with Larry when we're doing the EFAP, and then I'm listening to him like, yo, Larry was really trying to sit down and have a real conversation. He brings up the Twitter, the Twitter space thing. I'm like, I don't want to talk about this shit because I know we're on shaky ground. I don't want to make this shit worse. He's like, no, because that was a bitch ass move. That's when that turns left. That's when that conversation turned from a productive conversation into two motherfuckers just arguing. That was the exact moment. And then so I don't know. And then
people are passionate about me, man. I got people are passionate about me.
Yo, man, you got some riders, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Nah, absolutely. Yo, Tyler got a mafia because I had mafia. There are other third parties getting involved in this whole shit. And then so yeah, we fast forward 2 months. And then for me, bro, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, you notice I fucking blocked you. I blocked you.
I know, man. And I'll tell you this. It took everything in me. You blocked me, and I go, maybe I went too far. And I go, why I was like, oh, because I don't like it when people block me. And I was like, okay, what did I do? And then I went, do I make a tweet that goes, Stokes blocked me and he's bitch made? Or do I just ignore it and move on and let Stokes go his separate, just like be like, that was it? And so I was like, okay, you know what? Do I say that Stokes drinks bitch lemonade, or do I? And I went, you know what? I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to say anything. Now, granted, I will say, yes, I think I had 2 or 3 more streams where I would go like, blah, 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 and fuck Stokes. And I will agree, because it was funny, because you drank that bitch lemonade in my mind.
You made more shit. You know what's so funny is that, bro, because when I, like, you do a I know I got to bring this shit up, bro. The shit made me really mad when you did that stream where you were doing the I'm leaving indie comic stream.
Was I in my car? And that's, by the way, that's like the 5th time I've made that video. Come back.
It was a different video where you were talking about I'm thinking about leaving indie comics, and then you seemed like you were in a really rough spot. And this is probably 2 days after the Larry thing. And then
was it the one where I sound like I was crying but I was sick?
I don't know. It was a fire thumbnail set. Listen, I'll give you the context. Hold on. Okay. So you were like, oh, you know, you feel like people use you. People don't back your campaign. I'd love to come onto your show. And I'm like, that's fucking. And then you mentioned me. I'm the only creator you mentioned in that whole fucking video Tyler, did I back your campaign? Did I back Megafist too?
Because you did have free.
Didn't I reach out to you after that video? You all right? Didn't I?
Hey, I'm laughing, guys, because I know I'm in the wrong on that one. Like, I'm laughing because, like, I remember that, and I was like, these creators, umbrella creators, these mystery
Stokes
creators,
Provider.
and then Stokes and all these creators, and Stokes did everything that I complain these other creators don't do. So I'm like, the reason why I messaged Chris and Arkham so that we can have this because I was like, let me be humble. Because I know when I've goofed, I know that when I've taken an L, that's an L. That's a funny L. Because you're right, I didn't say one creator's name except yours. And based off of the criteria that I hated all those other creators, you met, but I still said fuck Stokes.
And that was when I was like, bro, I felt like I was being gaslit. I'm like, yo, am I in the fucking Twilight Zone? And no, like, I'm not doing this. I'm just saying this to like, hey, clear my name a little bit because you did drag it through the mud a little bit for a month or two. Give me 1 second.
I did. Which I deserved you to drag my name in the mud in some spaces. I agree.
Yeah, and then also the thing you said. Oh man, I'm in the wrong. I'm fucked
Oh
up
dang,
right
new
now.
camera angle. Dang, dude, the production of this.
Yeah,
Joe
you
Rogan
Pissed me
here.
off so
Skyrocketed,
bad I
man.
broke my camera.
Had Joe Rogan over here, man. Where's
But
Jamie?
no, but listen, and like the thing is, like we're going back and forth, and no, you are a very good arguer. I'm not gonna lie. Like I'm gonna say this. Larry is not good at arguing. I ain't gonna lie. Like if it's like I made 20,000 on Kickstarter and that's it. That's all he got. Like you don't have nothing else up his sleeve. You are a very good arguer. You are a very irritating person. You want to be. So we're having a conversation.
Thank you. It's a skill.
We're having a conversation. Oh no. So we're in a Twitter space. You do say you're going to use me as content. I now have the context to understand what you meant, and thank you for clarifying. And you do a live stream with Larry where you say I don't respect the medium of comics, and I'm like, yo, you didn't think to bring that up while we're sitting here talking. So I'm watching this stream. I'm like, yo, and I'm like, what the again? What the what more can I do?
Because you're my mortal enemy for
That's
unknown reasons.
That's beef. Okay. And then we're in a Twitter space, and the reason why I brought this up is because I'm really talking about Larry, and then you come up naturally because these two beefs are intertwined. Like we can't talk about one without the other. Not anymore. Don't worry about that stuff. But I was just laughing because you sent Chris a message that's like, I haven't brought up Stokes in 14 days. I'm like, that's fucking crazy. The last 2 months.
Yeah, man, come on. I haven't brought you up in 14 days. I spent 3 months attacking you. Give me these 14 days, bro.
But listen, bro, I had you.
I'm a changed man.
I had you fucking blocked. I like in my world, and then you said to you my boy B Hill was like, y'all should argue this in a space, and you were like, haha, I want an audience. And that was it. That's when I blocked you. So it's so funny. I didn't have an audience before, but now Tyler is like, "Oh, I'm just really trying to move past it."
No.
You
What did
that
I
in
say,
front of
Chris?
all
I
those
said,
people.
I'll do it privately. I'll
Yeah.
do it in a space,
Yeah.
or I'll
Yeah,
do it
you
on
want-
YouTube because I was just gonna say let's do it privately,
Yeah.
but I figured I'd help you with the watch hours because I know you're trying to get that 4,000 watch hours. So I'll help. I'll help you with that. No, I said the views. Yes, I said the views thing. That's a whole other conversation on Twitter Space views versus YouTube views.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. I'll give you this. I've done one Twitter Space where I hosted it.
Yeah.
That was different. I did not like that. It felt like the first time like having sex. I was like, no one's talking. Oh, I gotta talk. No one can see my face, so they don't know if I'm making funny expressions like on YouTube. Does anyone want the mic? Someone, please.
It just sounds like there was multiple people at your virginity losing.
There was time. Well, there was an audience.
It was like,
I think
multiple
and
people there.
the thing is also, so I get what you're saying. I'm making a joke about like, whoa, there was an audience before. You know what I'm saying? If Tyler December 2022 is you believe it's just me and that bitch.
Damn,
But-
dude, you should do a documentary. December 22. He tweeted the following.
That's when I blocked you because at that point, bro, like no kayfabe shit, I fucking hated you. I hated your.
Say what you said on the space while you blocked me.
You said what?
Say what you said on one of your
You
Twitter
tell me,
spaces.
bro, because you got selective motherfucking memory. Bro.
You said you were gonna threat physical violence on me.
Oh, for sure. No, at that point, yes. That's why I blocked you. That's why I blocked you. I'm like, yo, I'm about to really be a gangster on here. But I'm like, that's where my head was at, and I was very upset because like doing a backslide, it's like we're brand new. Like I'm here in a year and a half. Do I'm a little bit louder than people would like, sure, but people undercutting my accomplishments that, let's be honest, people weren't doing a year and a half. Most people are not doing what we've done in a year and a half. Part of that was through Twitter Spaces. You were talking about our side of Indie Comic Twitter. We made our own side of Indie Comic Twitter through Spaces. So
I'm proud of it. I'm proud of you guys.
Thank you, man. This shit had me. We had 19 viewers on our first stream, though. I was almost fucking tearing up. I was drunk as fuck, but I was almost tearing up. I was so happy, and it's something I'm really prideful about. So that was shitty. And if you ever felt like I undercut anything that you've done or accomplished, then I apologize sincerely.
No, listen. I reached out to Chris and Arcrums because I was like, you know what? I'm very good at being shitty online.
Yeah.
I get so much joy out of it. And if you, I always say the most dangerous thing you can do is be mean to me on Twitter, and I have free time because I will make memes and I'll make Yu-Gi-Oh cards and I'll have so much fun. And I was like, is this like, do I want to do this year? Like, no, I just want to make my comics. Yeah. And I was like, Stokes clearly is still pissed off at me, and that's fair. That is fair. Now, do I still think you're a little bit arrogant? Yes.
You're right.
You prideful? Yes. But I was like, you know what? That's his personality, and regardless, we don't have to have beef. Like, we don't have to have beef. We just don't have to. And so that's why I reached out to Chris. I reached out to Arcrums, and I never interacted with Chris, but I had interacted with Arcrums, and I was like, Arcrums, send Stokes this message, and then on a related note, if I have been shitty to you, I am sorry. I'm sorry about that, and that's why in my car live stream when I said I kind of want to do something that's which is funny, I didn't bring you up again.
This is fucking insane, bro.
I brought you up again, but I did say in there that like I don't want to be a hypocrite and say that I'm always in the right, because I have had my fair share of doing shitty things online, my fair share of starting fights, picking fights, being in fights, and also digging up fights. I've done my fair share of all of that. And so I was like, you know what? It's January. We're 14 days into January. Let's just message and just go. Yeah, you do your thing. Well, it wasn't even like you were pissed off that I was doing my own thing. I was just pissed off at you. So I was like, let Stokes do his own thing. He's doing his own. He's happy. He's making comics. He might do stuff in a way that I disagree with, that I wish he would do differently, because I know if he did, it would have more of a positive impact. But once again, we're looking at different mountains.
Yep. So
I came here to, once again, though, I didn't think there was beef, but I'm here to patch up.
Fucking bugging. You heard what I said, right?
I'm here, but I understand from your perspective how pissed off you were, and I'm very proud of myself for making you that pissed off. It means I'm very good.
You are so this is like when the Joker washes off his makeup and then reinserts himself into society, like he's working at McDonald's and shit. This is that level of turn. This is interesting.
Mrs. H is DMing me saying toxic Britney Spears.
Yeah, no, but no,
but
like I said. It was literally like I said, we're good. As soon as you sent the message, I was like, all right, cool. I'm like, okay, we're stopping this. And as you know, and I want people to know, this is the conversation I wanted to have fucking like before we cut the turkey on Thanksgiving. But listen, Tyler, I can't agree. You know what I think it is, bro? Let me talk about the arrogance thing. This is fucking hard, bro. This whole shit is hard. Making comics, you have a family, you know what I'm saying? At some point, me or Chris might have a family, other people having, and also let me say, I admire you so much for being able to be a father and a comic book creator. Like that is insanely hard.
It fucking sucks.
Okay. No, but like listen, Tyler's being genuine right now. he's a genuinely bad person. No, but you're kind
funny.
of talking about your darkest kind of impulses, and you're trying to do better. What I don't like is that motherfuckers will act like on Twitter and act like they're perfect. Like motherfuckers, and that's the thing that I do. I act arrogant because other people might need arrogance. You see all these people on Twitter or whatever, and they're just like they can come off like crybabies. It's like, do y'all motherfuckers have fun making comics?
Correct. You're
And
like
that's
the
what I
extreme of like the weak creator who's like,
Yes.
life is so hard. And yeah, I agree. Can you pull up that comment by Art Crumbs real quick? That big one. I think that's what was the most frustrating thing for me.
You really want to pull this up?
Pull it up. I don't care.
Sorry.
I think that's what was the most frustrating for me was finding you enjoying upsetting people. I mean, it's so fun. That feels community dividing, not building. My job is community, so I distance myself. No, it's fair. Once again, though, I'm not saying that this makes what I'm going to say what I did right or what other creators do, because there's more of us out there. We're lurking. Is the last 6 years in the indie comic scene, like a lot of people go, oh, it's just like 2018. Dude, like it sucked. Like every single day there was a new fight, people fighting, and it was like, okay, the only way to like survive this is to take a side, beat people up on Twitter.
Yeah.
And it was like, who could be toxic? Like, honestly, this sounds horrible. I'm still around
Say it.
because I out-toxiced everyone else. I beat them with my toxicity beat their toxicity.
You know what, Tyler? I can relate to this. I think my most frustrating thing is that, like, low key, you be talking about me, but you be talking about yourself too. Like we are very similar. I'm not gonna but like it feels good to like get if I had a bunch of chocolate bars downstairs, I'm on a diet. Ripping them shits apart and eating them and stuffing them to my mouth would feel fucking amazing, you know? And you're saying you're gonna do better, and I believe you, and I'm really happy that you're doing better. But it kind of speaks to the environment that people have created. I feel like I wouldn't stand out so much in a space if people weren't being so. It's like a competition to see who can get angry faster. There's so much dogpile. It's not just you. It's not just me. There's so much dogpiling. People, it'll be a situation where somebody makes a small mistake. We got to talk about it for the next 48 hours. It's so much of the community that needs to be addressed and needs to be fixed. But also the reason, like I was trying to finish one. The reason why I act arrogant is because like other people might like arrogance, and really, you know what it is, bro? I can't let you fucking be right. Like I can't let you be right, bro. I don't give a fuck. I will rob a bank and then make it as a $7,000 pledge. I don't give a fuck. I cannot let you be right. I am curious, talking about the state of things. We fucking brought it up. Both of us have brought it up. What was your thoughts on the Larry stream, the one we reacted?
Stux.
You don't want to talk about? We don't want to talk about it.
No, I'll talk about it. So Larry and I are cool. Larry and I are cool now. So Larry, you listen to this. We're cool now.
He's listening. You know full well he's listening.
I don't know. Maybe he has better things to do. Hopefully.
I hope so too.
Larry and I are good now. Like,
Yeah.
Larry and I have a really weird relationship at this point, but we're good now. I mean, gosh, I literally, guys, I streamed with this guy for 7 years. Like, we talked. And I understand Larry, I think, better than every other creator in the space. Mm-hmm. And what I will say about what happened to you, and by the way, I got sent the link to join in, to jump on, and I didn't have anything to do that night. I chose not to. I had to draw pages, so I drew pages.
That would've
listen,
been
and
crazy.
listen.
That would have been insane.
That would have been content for sure.
What I will say is, I don't think that stream was fair to you, because there was no prior history between you and Larry. And so when they were asking you the questions, I didn't think, and I know all those cats, by the way, like I know all of them. I didn't think it would, I felt like you were thrown into some shadow tribunal, and like with like you're thrown into court, and you were like, why am I here? And they're like, why are you here? And you're like, you put me here. And they go, why are you? And I didn't think it was very constructive.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, that's what I thought of it. Is I was listening to it, and at the time, it was like, this isn't fair, but like, fuck Stokes. So it's okay that he's like going
A
through
lot of
this.
people felt that way.
But I will say this though, and I hope you maybe see through my lens, is that those kind of streams were like weekly for like 5 years with people.
Yeah.
Like you would get invited and go, "Hi, I'm here to promote my comic." They go, "You're not here to promote your comic. We're here to fuck you up." And you're like, "Wait, what?" And then they blast you, and then you get blasted online. And so I'm not saying that their behavior was right, but that was what the scene was like for 4 or 5 years.
I think the thing is, like I said though, I'll give Larry this credit, and I'm even hoping me and Larry can bury the hatchet. I'm not trying to like gang up on him or gang up on him. I'm just commenting because we were talking about beef and stuff like that. I think he wanted to have a real discussion, and shit went left. And I don't give a fuck who it is, bro. Jim Lee couldn't talk to me the way fucking Larry was talking to me. You know what I'm saying? But it's not just Larry. It's numerous amount of people. I didn't claw my way. I didn't like claw my way up from whatever I've been through to get here and have somebody like little bro me, you know what I'm saying? And that's just kind of where I was at. I would say look, if I lost, I put up a good fight. Like I feel like that was good content.
No one won, and no one won.
I will say that was
No one won in that. I will say this for you, Stokes. I think this is one criticism I can give you that I hope that maybe is one thing that you do is that, because, and I get the whole like arrogance thing to like, showcase,
Yeah.
but it's just my wife texted me.
Yeah.
We're good. Is that because you are new on the scene just within a year, there are some cats that are still here, that because you don't know them and what they are, that sometimes the things that you say, like I'll be in a space and I was like, I don't know if you would talk to this person and say these things if you knew like who this person was. One of them that I remembered was Victor Dandridge. And he's been in comics for like 20 years, and he does it full time, and he has like a massive company. He knows a bunch of people, and he came on a space once, and he gave some advice on like, this is how you can break into the industry, and this is a skill you should learn. And then you were like, I don't think so. And then the two of you started going at it, and I was like, man, like Victor's been around for like 20
What's
years.
that?
Oh, I couldn't tell you.
Let me find, because I don't remember this conversation.
I know him through Facebook. He was saying that every creator should learn lettering.
Yeah, but and here's my thing. And here's what I will say. I don't think I was being disrespectful. I just didn't agree with what he was saying.
No. You're right. You weren't. No, I wasn't saying you were being disrespectful.
Okay. Cool.
But yeah, you weren't being disrespectful. But I think that like sometimes you can dismiss good advice from people who have been around the scene for so long, and because you don't know who they are, that sometimes because you don't know who they are, that you go, oh, well, that's bad advice. And even though you do it respectful way, if you knew that they were who they were, you might go, oh, dang, like
here's the thing though,
some good
not
advice.
all great advice applies to everybody.
Oh, for sure.
And what I communicated was, I'm trying to focus on how to become a great comic book writer. So, and when I say writer, I mean literally, how do I write a script or whatever that can be turned into a great comic book? So learning how to letter doesn't help that. I would much rather pay somebody else to do it because it's a more efficient use of my time. And the problem is with so much people is they think that their advice, I never said it was bad advice. I just said it didn't apply to me. I remember that argument you're talking about very specifically, and it was back and forth where people were like, oh, you dismissed his advice. I didn't dismiss the advice. I said it didn't apply to me. Somebody told me you need to have an editor, another veteran creator. And I said, I don't have an editor for my Project Decay because my artist speaks Portuguese. I don't want to put too much pressure on them or make their life harder because it's two different people trying to communicate them that doesn't speak the language. There's gonna be a lot of stuff that's lost in translation. Also, it was my first comic book series, so I wanted to learn a lot as I went. So this person was like, oh, you're anti-editor. I feel like you're saying you're too good to have an editor. And it's like, all right, well, the flip side of that coin is that these older creators have to, or excuse me, these experienced people have to also understand that people are going to do it their own way. And listen, I'm not an ass kisser, bro. Like, I'm sorry. Like, you know, but like, I'm not like, listen, I don't kiss ass. I don't massage ego, bro. Like, it's never going to happen.
And that also goes to the fact of me going, why isn't he doing? It's once again, it's just creators going. I mean, when you did the page turn thing, when you go the market thing, it's all, which is why I don't want to talk to, like, don't want to be in the indie creator space very much these days. Is because you can say one thing and people go, well, that's not my thing now, because it's not my thing, you're wrong, and let me go at it. And like, seeing some of the because I agree with you, like, marketing is a comic book skill or whatever that you said, and you have people going, and I go, you know what?
So crazy.
Yeah, I get why he said that. I 100% agree, and I hate all of these responses that people are saying.
You let me get cooked?
What?
You let me get cooked?
Yeah. Well, yeah, because fuck Stokes, man. Like, let him get cooked. But so that's a big thing. A big problem with the indie creator scene is we and it's by the way, it's always creators who beef. It's never a creator to the reader. It's always creator v creator, and it's always creator v creator. And so it's like, if it's always creator v creator, there's a common problem then. And the problem is that these two creators are butting heads because they disagree on how something should work, and because there's no hard rule on what something should work, they should just let it go. And yeah. So like, I had a reckoning, which is why I once again woke up one morning and went, I should message Stokes. Oh shit, he has me blocked. Okay. Which out of my 5 alt accounts should I message Stokes through? So Stokes through.
This is a fucking menace, bro. Yeah, and the only reason I had you blocked really was because I said I was wishing some shit I wouldn't. Because
I was winning.
Yeah, you can have the dumbass prize, you and the dumbass award. So even what Crumbs is saying here, in my opinion, I think it helps to know how these things work. Keep in mind what I said. I didn't say it was bad advice. I didn't say it wouldn't help.
It wasn't applicable to you.
I was saying I'm literally focusing on the writing of a script that can be transformed into a great page. And I mean, sure, I'm like, it's not wrong, but again, this advice doesn't apply. So what I wanted to say was, this is a response to a comment I didn't make, but then I sound argumentative. So it's just this circular thing of just like, and I'm only saying this so I can give the context. Yes, in a perfect world where I had an unlimited amount of time, I would learn how to edit 1,000,000%. I just think that, thanks, Crumb. I just think that, like, energy is a resource. Time is a resource. My time is better spent. I did. It's funny. I'm like laying awake. I had insomnia. I'm doing an audit of like what gets the best results for the least amount of effort. And I think editing my Kickstarter page was number 1, and then making a tweet that would fire off engagement baiting, that was number 2. That was a close number 2, because I'm like, that takes no fucking effort, bro. I tweeted who's the greatest comic book writer, and I got like 30 responses. Like, that's cake. It's like like I said, it's content, right? But learning how to letter sounds like a horrible use of my resources, to be honest. Like, I could do a live stream, I could be editing videos, I could be doing podcasts, I could be doing Twitter space, I can do all kinds of stuff. And that just, to me, seems like a better use of my time. But it's not something I'm not doing, period, or ever. I'm just saying I'm not doing it right now.
For sure,
like I said, I think people... Go ahead, Tom.
I said this to Travis, I think, last week. I don't know if I DM'd it or if we were on a phone call. But I was like... if I can find it on the DM, I'll send it to you to prove it to you. But I was like, I think the thing that frustrates me the most about Stokes is if he just listened to these things, he'd be God tier. Like, he could skip all these steps. I just need, and that's another thing. It's like, I'm treating you as a parent. You look at I'm not saying my child. I look at my child. I go, he's sick right now. I go, if you just blow your nose, man. If you could just blow your nose, the mucus is gonna come out. You're gonna feel a lot better. And he goes, I don't want to blow my nose. I'm like, just blow your nose. I get so frustrated that. And it's one of those things where it's like, I know that if you do this, this will help, but you're not in that stage yet where you want to, where you're thinking about it, where you even think it's important. And I'm treating you like you should be where I am. And you should skip all the years of things and so it's like, and so it's very, it's not right. And which is why when you know, other creators say, you know, well, you should listen to me because I got, you know, X amount on my campaign or whatnot.
Yeah.
It invalidates. It goes, yeah. Well, you've learned that. Now there is something to say because you can listen to someone and they might be able to help you skip some of the rough patches to get you to that part.
Yeah.
And I think for me there were some things marketing wise where I was like, if he just listened to me and he skipped these things, but it wasn't even on your radar. It wasn't something you're even into, and that it's not my right to impose that on you or other creators. And which is why like there shouldn't be, it's like beef with creators is so stupid because they're all at different stages. We all have different goals. Sketch, Goth Hands, who would have 5 Twitter accounts? 5 is too much. Oh God, Tyler is a fake. No.
I don't agree with that.
I've got one for my newsletter. I've got one for my personal. I've got one for Draw and Talk. I've got one for my work account, and then I've got the other one to watch everyone who's blocked me.
Oh, so you've been seeing. I do gotta ask, because like, okay, so there was another situation. We could talk about this. Look, shouts out to Travis. We was butting heads a lot. We was butting heads, yo. We was going to war, like, and I'm just like, it's a lot of the same thing. I feel like what you're saying. It's like I'm giving you good advice, follow it. I'm like, but it just doesn't apply, or this or that,
or you don't want it.
We don't want it, but like, or you know, different stages, like you said. And the thing I was talking to Travis about, god damn, oh no, but I said because it was a thing of like, bro, you sitting here and telling, if you were to DM me and be like, Stokes, here's some advice, I'm not gonna be like, yeah, fuck you, Tyler. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not going to happen. And I am genuinely curious about what you're referring to. If you think it could apply, right? But I was talking to him about like, I'm just blowing off steam, like essentially, because like I said, me and Travis, I don't know if it's a cultural thing. It's like, if we could have a mediator, I think we get along great. It's just like it's just like some goes in. It's like what's that game?
Chinese
telephone.
Whispers.
What's the game? Telephone. Where
yours yours is like the politically correct version. I went Chinese Whispers.
Yeah.
Ching chong, bing bong.
I don't know what the. This is why you weren't allowed in that space that one time.
I'm Chinese. I can make that joke.
you see
I don't want to hear anyone else say ching chong, bing bong because that's racist.
Okay. No, but we were talking. I'm in the space, and I'm like, yeah, man. I'm like, oh, because again, he's looking at me being like, I like to start beef. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck you talking about. I'm trying to chill. But I was talking about him in the space. And then he messaged me. He's like, I heard you were talking about me. And I was like, yo, who the fuck is running? Who's running the Travis? And then you message Chris in the you know what's funny? This is like some Attack on Titan shit where I get one piece of information that like unlocks everything. Because I'm like, yo, who the fuck? I should have known. It was Tyler. Like, you're like the Scooby-Doo. I take the mask off and it's Tyler. Like, who else would it be? So I was just curious, like, were you in the spaces just chilling? Like, do you enjoy
I'll tell you this, I don't want to be in the spaces when my kid's not awake, when I'm rocking my baby at like 2 a.m. and you're the only thing that's happening on YouTube and Twitter. I'm like, I guess I'll freaking like listen to this because there's what? No, not hate listening. I think I listen to it and I'm like enjoying it. And then when I hear my name, that's when I start hate listening because that's when I go like, wait, why do you say my name? Why do you say my name?
Empathize. I can really empathize if you're watching something, enjoying it, and if somebody mentions your name, I can really.
Here's the thing. I mean, I called Travis. I was like, dude, this is fucking Stokes.
Are you called?
Like, oh, well, I mean, we're yeah. That's not well. Like, we're bros.
Yeah. No, I got you.
I'm like, Stokes talking about me. And I'm like, you know what? I talked about him. Like, I am not innocent. And no one ever is. Like, in hockey, like, both players get put into the little corner because of, like, one for instigation, one, for retaliation. And so, and it's like, I've been the instigator sometimes. and and I hope that if people watch this, one, I hope they can look at me and they can go, because your audience is very different than my audience. I've got a very strong audience, and we have completely different audiences. I hope that if your audience who has heard you talk about me in the Twitter space or in the YouTube, I hope that they can maybe watch this and go, Tyler was humble enough. I don't care if they like me and they might think I'm fake. I hope they go, Tyler was humble enough to message 2 people, apologize to one of them, Art Crumbs, and go, hey, I realized I fucked up.
Yeah.
And I was toxic, and I'm sorry if I hurt you, Art Crumbs. Let me know what I did was wrong. Like, send me the tweets. I want to apologize. And then, hey, can someone get a hold of Stokes for me? We can do it privately in a space. And like, I came here being okay with, like, if you want to crucify me, you can crucify me, and I'll take it.
Yeah.
So I hope your audience goes, oh, Tyler's humble enough to do that. But I also hope that they can see how easy it is for creators to get into these beefs. And I like how you said, everyone has a different level of beef, because when I say we're not beefing, but the things I'm doing are beef to you, and then like the littlest thing could be beef to Travis, and like, so we don't know what one knows each other's levels of beef. Yeah. It's just so easy for people to disagree. And I hope that creators who see this, if you're disagreeing with another creator, go step back and go, why am I disagreeing with them? And if you're disagreeing with them because you think they should be doing something differently, it's not worth it to be in that fight. Just go, let them do their own thing. If they win their way, great. And if they lose their way, hopefully you can go, hey, like, it didn't work, right? You should have probably done my way. It's the Wild West. There are a lot of things that work and a lot of things that don't work. There are a lot of things, though, that do work, that people know they work, and if they do it, it will work, though.
Page turns.
Drama.
What are you talking about specifically? Nah, fuck that. What are you talking about?
Well, I do remember watching your guys' show once. I will say, I'm going to critique you guys right now.
Please. Yeah.
Let me pull up your YouTube channel. You have a YouTube channel called Super Comic Bros. And I remember one time, Chris goes, are we a drama channel? And you go, no, we're not. And I'm looking at your lives and your video that you just posted, which congrats, you're going to hit 1,000 by the time we're done with this video. It's the thumbnail, not your face. It's Velma. No, I will say this is the best cutout you've done of your face. And you did the green behind it to outline it.
It's hard to cut out Stokes' hair because
that damn freak, yeah, those dreads.
Do
you made that thumbnail, Chris?
Yeah, I make all the.
Oh, thank God, man! That's why it has 1,000 views.
I make all the thumbnails.
You see how I'm taking these slights to the chest? And I'm like,
yeah.
Oh wait, you make all the thumbnails, Chris?
Yeah, I make all.
Oh, okay. Just that one's good.
I make all the content.
I just throw them all together. Why are you hating on the thumbnails, bro?
But I will say, for a comic channel called Super Comic Bros, you guys haven't talked about comics positively in one video.
You mean it's individually talking about the individual comics?
If I was just to glance at your channel, not watch a video and look at the thumbnails and look at the titles and then that video, I'd go, there's nothing really positive about comics here. It's just a typical like Eric July type channel. And by the way, that Velma video, it's doing great because everyone does hate Velma, and it's so the slip is to do not drama because drama is different to what other people, negative commentary videos. Negative commentary videos. So we see that with like Eric July. We see that with a lot of the comics people, they do that, but a lot of other people do. I mean, it's a massive market to do negative commentary. And the reason why it's massive is because it effing works. It works. And so my only critique would be, I wish that you guys didn't do that kind of content. I understand why. I'll never say like you shouldn't. That's stupid of you to do that, because I understand it. I posted an Eric July video. It got 30,000 views in 2 days. I deleted it because I got so many hate comments. But like I look at you. I look at the channel. I go, I wish that there was more positive like thumbnails, titles. But once again, that's the content that you guys want to put out. But I did think it was funny how what Chris was like, "Are we a drama channel?" And I'm looking at some of the content and I go, it is very drama-y.
Well, okay, so this is so you also made a tweet after we did the Niobe stream about how you watched new creators do whatever EFAPing or whatever. And my problem with that tweet and this comment now is we know these things worked. You've been talking about for the past 10 years. We're just doing what everyone has been doing that has been proven in the algorithm to make people watch. And
Also, we've been at this for a month. We've been doing this for a month.
We've done it for a month. We've done a few videos. It's like to say.
I know.
Like, it's I don't know. It's definitely.
Did the crowdfunder video as well. Crazy. I would say this is a positive video.
Like, we do positive videos all the time. It's just to get people. It's just clickbait, which is just how
I know
it works. We're in a post viral society. Like this is how we play the game. So I don't know. Like. Is it negative? I mean, some of them we like clickbait to get you in, but like we talk about comics. Not everything is negative, and we talk about like we talked to Pat Shand about old.
Yeah, I saw that.
And then Travis was on there also, and we had a positive conversation about.
I saw that, but so. I'm just talking about the initial look. Now I look at like the video that you did with Velma, and I assume you'll probably want to like lean more into that content. So that's the kind of thing I'm seeing. I said. With the indie scene, this is what I've seen. If you leave the indie scene, a lot of them don't make this kind of content on YouTube. The YouTube content that they make is actually all positive. Yeah. Is all positive. And so like last week, like I have done the last 4 videos that I've done, probably gone like around like 3,000 views, and I haven't said one thing. Like, well, my Marvel video was a little bit negative, but then I was like, My Hero Academia is great. But I've done like 3 Chainsaw Man videos, and each of them have been like super positive. A lot of my other, like, I think 90% of my content on my channel now is all positive, and those are the ones that are getting the most views. And so my thing is, I know that there's a way. I call them easy views. Like to do I could do like that Eric July video was an easy views. It's easy views. I could make a Velma video, and that's easy views. And so my thing, and that's the thing, I'm not trying to impose it to you guys. I'm not trying to impose it to you guys. I'm now going, can I go get different views? Because I've seen what happens to creators who create these videos. I've seen what happens to their audience. I've seen what kind of audience they build. And I also see the toll it takes on the creator who makes these videos constantly. So my friend Clint Stoker, I mean, he's had like 50,000 campaigns, 100,000 campaigns. He built a whole channel on negativity. Yeah. And it broke him. He quit last year. He's like, I'm done. I can't. He goes, because every day I'm looking for something to get angry at. I'm looking for something to get pissed off at. I don't enjoy anything. I don't even enjoy comics right now. Bounces. I
was literally driving home today, and I was like, "Damn, I had the same thought. We almost like we're the same person or some shit." I was like, "We need to make some good, some positive content." Even though the crowdfunder thing, like I would say, the old versus new, it's more clickbait. I can understand you looking at it from a vantage perspective, but my next video was going to be why Infinity War is the best comic book movie. That's So. We're new, you know what I'm saying? And I didn't plan on making a Velma video, but I saw it.
For sure. And that's why I don't get pissed. That's why I'm not like you see these guys, because I understand how the algorithm works. I understand the reason why it's sad for a lot of these people is that like luckily your guys' paychecks aren't dependent on YouTube. A lot of these people who make like these hate YouTube accounts, channels, like if they don't post a negative review on Velma or like Lord of the Rings, they don't get a paycheck that week. So like I have to hate this. There's like, and so that's what I've seen with a lot of people. And then they get, I was talking to another creator. He goes, "Dude, Tyler, I can't find any. You got anything that you hate right now?" And I'm like, "No, I pretty much like most things." I went on a stream once, I think like 3 weeks ago, and they said, "Yo, we're talking about this." I liked it, and they kicked me off. Before we went live, they go, "Who all hates this?" And I was like, "Oh, I like it." And they go, "Oh, dang it, Tyler!" And like they kicked me off, and I was like,
"You don't even want like a what's that shit called? A devil's advocate? Like Like I just think that's such like here's the thing though also is that like when we look what is the machine for good writing? It's conflict. Like
Yes.
you have to find a balance. But that's part of the reason why I was like, nah, we doing this shit. We doing this shit on the fucking YouTube, baby. What are you talking about? Private? Fuck, it's private. We been doing private shit for the last 2 months. That's why I wanted to have Travis on because, again, I respect him, but we don't always agree. The Crumb said never invite. You're absolutely invited on at some point. So it's just about like finding a good balance, you know what I'm saying? Of like, we don't want to be toxic. I definitely don't want to be toxic. Also, what pisses me off is me having this narrative about me that I'm like the problematic one. And you heard what the fuck Chris said. Are we a drama channel now? I'm like, no. What are you? Oh, Chris designs the thumbnails, bro. I just show up and talk. Chris is designing the thumbnails. Why is it me? Also,
do you say, hey, I made this thumbnail of why everyone hates? Oh, congrats, you hit 1,000 views, on that video on Velma.
The public counter is different from what the counter.
You'll probably have more in your analytics than what
does
the
it catch
public
up to
is.
the analytics? Because
It does like 3 days later.
Yeah.
It does like 3 days later.
Oh my god! Oh, the click through rate is only 4.2%. But I don't know if they're coming for the thumbnail. I don't know. Like, it might be.
Do you want me to give you YouTube advice?
Yeah.
Want me to give you YouTube advice? If you have a thumbnail that you want your thumbnail, the average thumbnail is going to do like 3 to 4%. If you can get it to 6 to 7%, you're gonna break 1,000 views pretty easily. And then if you can get it to 11%, that's when you're to over 10%. That's when you're getting around like those 10 to 50,000 views. Like that's the kind of percentage you need. But also, YouTube only cares about 2 things: your CTR, so your thumbnail. So your thumbnail and title need to be good, and then how long did the person watch it? The retention. So if the person only watches, so if you can keep your video with an average retention of over 45 to 50, they'll push your video more. And if you can get it even higher, then that's when you're like getting super views. Like Mr. B says he gets like 90% retention rate. And so like right now, like the video I posted today was trash because I did it on my lunch break, and I was like, post this really quick. But I'll typically script my video, and I'll go, okay, every like 5 seconds, do I say something that's like like to keep it going, because you want to my best video has like a 70% retention. Because I scripted it really well, and I wish I could recreate that because it's almost at 100,000 views. But then that's the thumbnail. So if you can make good thumbnails, so Chris, if you can make good thumbnails and titles, and then after that, it's the retention of the content. Those are the only two. Those are the only 2 like metrics to really focus on.
Honestly, the retention right now, I'm looking at the shit is like up. Shit is like so. Shouts out to me. No, and Tyler, and I think I feel like that I was like receptive to information. Like I feel like we've had enough good conversations even now. Like this is good information, and I want to give you credit because I don't know if you were a big influence on me wanting to go to YouTube. Like I'm gonna be 100% honest, and like I think part of what frustrated me is like, bro, we have so much to offer, like the community. Like, yo, let's this is good. I feel like this is great content, you know what I'm saying? Just in general.
It's good for it it's good for which community though, and that's my big thing right now is it's good for the creator community. And I currently feel like Rorschach from Watchmen, where it's like where he's like when they need me most, I'm gonna like say no. That's how I feel, because it's not your fault per se. I think you were just like the final. I think our interactions last year was just my final. Like I was already like, dude, I freaking hate this community. I hate this freaking community. All this stuff, and then I just like pushed myself. I think that was
the circumstances though. Is like we obviously have a mutual respect for each other.
And what's up, Nicholas? Nicholas, watch the whole thing. I've been
up?
very behaved, and it's been very
You're
good.
not posting them links, Nick. Fuck them
Um,
links.
I also think that it didn't help that while you were doing it, I was literally getting hounded like every week by Ethan Van Sciver, and that I'm not saying that like, oh, so I should move my anger towards this guy. It's I've been in the community long enough. I'm like, I don't want to deal with people anymore. My most success was the year that I left I left the community 2020, and I stayed gone. I got the most subs. I got the most views on my YouTube channel. I made the girl. I came up with the girl with the mega fist, which is now like my best series. Like the year I left was amazing, and then I came back in like February, and then that's when I was like, oh, people want fights again? Like, let's fight and let's go. And and I remember going like messaging like Nicholas. I was like, dude, I can't do this in 2023. This is my work. Like this might have been my best year in comics. I'm effing miserable.
Yeah.
I'm effing miserable. I want to be happy. Like I'm making comics. I should be effing happy. Why am I fighting Stokes? Why am I mad that Stokes said this? Like who gives a rip? And so, and that was a lot of things. I mean, I was messaging like people like Nicholas and Travis like for like months. Like, dude, why am I doing this? I messaged Travis the morning before. I called him. I was like, should I reach out to Stokes? Like, is this even a big deal? Am I making a big deal? And we talked. I was like, I'm gonna reach out because I want a clean slate because I don't want this anymore.
Yeah.
So I think it's good information. I do think the community. I'll tell you what I like about your community, Stokes, is your community is full of people who actually want to listen, and then they go like your comments like, oh, I didn't know that, blah blah blah. The community that I've been fighting with for 5 years, like I'm not doing that. And it's like, please, like then stop complaining.
Yes.
Stop complaining if you're not willing to do that. So when you start a YouTube channel, it's like, I'm glad I started a YouTube channel. I tell everyone to start a YouTube channel. No one ever starts a YouTube channel. They say it's so hard. It is. Now that you're starting it, do you like editing that Velma video? Was that hard?
Yes.
It took a lot of time.
Oh, I'm like, yo, I told Chris, this shit don't hit 500 views. I'm fucking done.
Dude, I posted
bro.
I posted a video and it got like I spent 3 days on it. It got 10 views. I went, oh, this is embarrassing. I deleted it like last week. It was so embarrassing. Yes, it's so hard. It's a skill that you'll get better at. Like I'm looking at my analytics right now because I was like, how good is this one that did 2,000 views?
I gotta pull it up on a second. Now, bro. So,
I was gonna buy a YouTube channel from someone, and I looked. I was like, "Can I see your analytics?" And it was like a gold mine of information. I was like, "Dang, your thumbnails get 15% click through rate. Your retention's this," and I'm like just like studying it for weeks. And then I was like, "All right, I'm ready to buy the channel." Like, oh, I sold it to someone else. I'm like, damn it.
yeah. I want to, like I think we're good here, bro. Like I said, we're straight. As soon as you reached out to Chris, I was like, bro, no, it's straight. Because like,
Were you shocked? You
You
can be shocked.
I was like, that's who the fuck snitched to Tyler. That's my first thought. I was like, oh, that makes perfect sense. No, but like just from our perspective though, and I think you understand, it's like from my perspective, I'm like, this motherfucker's an op. Like, why is he? And I didn't see the reformed Tyler. I didn't watch the stream because I didn't want to come up and lo and behold, and I had you blocked. And I wasn't even a thing of like I'm about to like creep and do all this, not accusing anybody of doing that, but I'm like, I'm just done with this dude. You know what I'm saying?
Which is smart. I hope that one the community that you build and are a part of isn't like the one that I've been in the last 6 years, and I hope that you guys don't have. If I am the old guard and you guys are the new guard, I hope that the new guard don't do any of that like beef and shit. But if you do, I would do what you did to me by blocking. I'd do it again. I do it again unless they reach out, and it takes a lot of balls to wake up and go, fuck, this guy blocked me and I'm having to reach out through someone else. I have to message someone else to get a hold of this guy. Let me like pour myself a glass of like bitch lemonade. Okay, let's do this.
Crazy. No, and then that's how I knew, and I was like, all right, cool, we can finally move on. And like I said, bro, I'm gonna extend because I know that those people on your show and didn't invite you to theirs. I'm inviting you to the show whenever you want to promote something because, truthfully, like I said, I think we make great content, bro. I think whenever we talk in spaces, when like I said, that live stream, I thought I almost downloaded that motherfucker, and it would have been evidence too. It would have been fucking evidence. I almost downloaded that bitch. I thought it was fantastic, and I think you're a great creator. And like I said, if you ever felt like I was dismissing what you were doing, or you felt like I didn't value your opinion up to a point, then I apologize.
You're good, man. We're good. We're good. Now,
Hell yeah,
Chris, I haven't started
Yeah,
anything
right.
with you though, so let's start off with.
Do you want to be with me?
I don't want to beef with you. I think
No,
I might.
no.
I think I'd win a lot easier though with
Yeah,
you.
for sure. Yo, he's
Yeah,
cake,
sure.
bro. He's
if you
cake.
say
What you
so.
mean?
I mean, if you say so, yo. I just like to. I move in silence, and then once the W's are out there, then you can just hold your L's in silence as well. But that's. I appreciate you coming on, Tyler.
Yes, sir.
You guys both had a really awesome conversation. I also want to make sure that everyone that's watching drops a like, subscribes to our channel. Thank you all for tuning in. Also, make sure to check out Control Z numbers 1 and 2 on
Put that on the screen, man.
Kickstarter right now. Stokes, put me on
Oh
the
man,
screen.
my StreamYard's broken. I can't do
Put,
it.
put me on the L host.
I got you, bro. I got you.
L host.
I know. It's what see me, and this is where we disagree. Is that Chris is like, I'm trying to promote, and I'm like, bro, I just want the best fucking content, bro. Like that.
No, dude, it's a lot. Like I'll agree with Chris. When we're doing a live stream, we should have been talking the whole time with Chris's Kickstarter page. That's what I would have done on mine. That's what I would have done on mine. While we beef, we would have kept that.
L host, but
It's
it's okay.
doing
That's why I
fine.
usually host.
He's cooking. He's fucking cooking.
Is this your best one, Chris?
Yeah, this is actually our biggest campaign so far. So thanks to everyone.
Chris, I backed it only to see if I might like your stuff, but I see you love sci-fi and I don't. So
I'm a big sci-fi guy. But
yeah, I could tell.
I could write.
I know Travis said it. Travis said it to you. I'll just say it to you again. I hated that I had to back 1 and 2.
Yeah, you hated. Oh, you just wanted.
But only because if I hate one, I have to.
Yeah, you got to. Well, you're not gonna hate it. The shit's gas.
That's exciting.
But yeah, I mean that's Travis was hating on the fact that we had 1 and 2, and I mean, I got you guys to both buy 2 issues instead of 1.
Well, we'll see because if I'm disappointed, I'll never do it again. I'll tell you this: another big
you might
problem.
unback that bitch too, Chris. You
Yeah,
might
I am back.
Yeah, I mean maybe.
I was telling Travis though, I was like, I another thing though is I've been reading a ton of like my story. Like I'm actually struggling with reading comics lately because I've been reading manga for the last 2 years, and it's so different, the pacing, and so like I was like, man, I don't like this comic, and then I was like, oh, the comic actually, and then Travis was like, the comic's not bad. I'm like, oh, it's bad. And he goes, no, it's not bad. It's just different. You're used to like a conversation taking 10 pages. In comics, they have 24 pages.
Yeah.
That bitch got to be 2 pages, like top. So no, I'm excited to see. And then I'm back. I'll be petty. I'll get it, but then I'll go. I want my money back, and I'll put it.
You
on
request an
the
update?
Yeah.
You request an anonymous update and shit?
Yeah,
This is a nasty motherfucker right here, bro.
Yeah, I'll mail
do
you
that.
$10 in a gem.
And you got 21 days to go. Stokes has his what to the 24th. Everyone has a
launches next
fucking
week.
campaign.
Yeah, every day. It's actually honestly pretty cool. I think as opposed to November and the fall, when everybody was also launching campaigns, it seems like everyone is still flourishing. But yeah, definitely, Stokes, you want to talk about intrusive thoughts before we sign off?
It's gas. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Tyler, thanks again for coming on, man. And like I said, man, if you want to pop into a space, you want to whatever, man. I'm down for whatever, bro.
Sounds good. I can join a Twitter space now, not using my alt account.
Yeah, because you was in the cut. I was like, yo, who the fuck? I was like messaging Chris. I was like, who the fuck snitched the trap? Again, why didn't I think of anyway.
Dude, I'm telling you, I am op, man. I'll op.
You are definitely an op. Hey. Next week we got special guest Larry Higgins. Y'all check out for that one.
Yo, wait, I did not approve that shit, dog. What?
Hell
yeah, we got Know Your Comments coming through. Everybody have a good night.
All right.